You have been taught to work hard, but no one taught you to think richly. You have been told to save pennies while men of power create millions with a single idea. I am here to awaken you, for there is a way to command money, to attract it in such boundless quantities that poverty becomes impossible, not through chance, not through inheritance, but through a mind trained to think in gold. Stay with me, and I will give you the exact steps that built the fortunes of Carnegie, Ford, and Edison, and can now build yours. Let me ask you plainly, have you decided to be rich? Or are you still entertaining the illusion that riches belong to other men? Are you waiting for your ship to arrive while refusing to build it? Are you hoping for money while speaking words of poverty and walking in fear? You say you want more money, but desire without decision is the very seed of poverty. Most men do not lack opportunity. They lack will. They do not suffer from fate. They suffer from indefinite thought. They drift, they wish, they hesitate, they speak of dreams but act on doubt. And so life delivers exactly what they have commanded: fear, limitation, lack. You were not born to live this way. You were not created to fear every bill and count every coin. You were born rich in thought, rich in spirit, rich in possibility. And today, if you will hear me, if you will stay until the final word, I will teach you how to awaken riches so vast, so continuous, so overflowing, that you will not be able to spend them all in a single lifetime. This is not wishful thinking. It is not fantasy. It is not hope. It is law. I am not here to inspire you. I am here to instruct you. There is a method by which riches are drawn to the mind trained to think in abundance, to speak with definiteness, and to act without fear. What you are about to receive is the distilled result of 25 years of study, born from my work with Andrew Carnegie, who charged me to interview the 500 most successful men of the age, men who rose from nothing to command industries, men with no formal education, no inherited wealth, no social position, and yet they shaped the course of history through the power of organized thought. Among them, Henry Ford, a farm boy with a dream who reshaped how the world moved; Thomas Edison, who failed 10,000 times before lighting the earth; Charles Schwab, who swept floors before commanding a steel empire; Rockefeller, Morgan, Hill, Gillette, all different in circumstance but united in one trait. They trained their minds to attract riches. They demanded wealth from life with such faith that life could not refuse them. And now, so can you. Have you truly decided what you want, or are you still hoping vaguely for improvement? Are you chasing 5 scattered goals, or have you chosen one aim and made it the master thought of your life? Let me give you 6 precise steps that, when followed faithfully, will turn desire into riches. I did not create them. I discovered them in the lives of every wealthy man I studied. They are not theory, they are law. 1, fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. Not more money, a definite sum. The subconscious does not respond to vagueness. 2, decide what you will give in return. There is no something for nothing. What service, what product, what value will you provide? 3, set a definite date by which you intend to possess the money. A goal without a deadline is merely a wish. 4, create a specific plan and begin immediately, whether you feel prepared or not. The man who waits for perfect readiness never begins. 5, write a clear statement of your goal. Include the amount, the service, the date, and the plan. 6, read your written statement aloud twice each day, morning and night, with emotion and belief until your subconscious accepts it as fact. If you follow these 6 steps without deviation, riches will begin moving toward you in ways you cannot predict. The method is not instant, but when followed with consistency, it is inevitable. Now let us speak of faith. Faith is the spiritual force by which thought is converted into riches. You cannot hold it in your hand, yet it shapes every coin you will ever earn. Without it, desire remains a dream. With it, desire becomes substance. You do not wait for faith to find you. You build it through repetition, through daily declaration, through speaking your purpose aloud, morning and evening, with such emotion and conviction that your subconscious has no choice but to accept it as law. Faith must come before the money, not after. This is the great error of the drifting masses. They say, when I see the riches, I will believe. But life answers. Believe first, and then you shall see. Faith is the evidence of things not yet visible. It begins with a word spoken aloud, a picture held in the mind, and a feeling in the heart that refuses to release its claim. Consider Charles Schwab. He was not born into wealth, but he carried an idea so powerful and spoke it with such certainty that Andrew Carnegie entrusted him with the formation of United States Steel, a decision that created a $600 million empire. What gave him that power? Faith. Faith in himself. Faith in his vision. Faith in his capacity to deliver. He had no guarantee except the voice within him. He obeyed it. He repeated it. And that inner certainty became outer reality. The world does not respond to need. It responds to belief. You do not receive what you want. You receive what you are certain of. Doubt is poison. It whispers, maybe it will not work. It says, who am I to be wealthy? It claims to protect you while stealing from you every hour you entertain it. If doubt lives in your heart today, it will deliver poverty to your door tomorrow. But faith, declared boldly and repeated relentlessly, will build a fortress around your mind that no circumstance can penetrate. Now I speak of the silent partner within you. He works without rest, without complaint, without a moment of delay. He never argues. He accepts your dominant thoughts as absolute law and proceeds to turn them into results, whether you intend it or not. This silent partner is your subconscious mind, and it is the most powerful instrument you possess in the creation of wealth. Your life is not the result of chance. It is the accumulated product of the orders you have silently issued through repeated thought. If you have spoken often of poverty, you have planted poverty. If you have feared lack, you have watered it with your attention. The subconscious does not judge. It does not filter. It accepts whatever you repeat with emotion and delivers it into form. Henry Ford understood this. He believed the Model T would fill every road in the nation long before anyone else dared to imagine it. That belief was planted, nurtured, and repeated until the world had no choice but to match it. Most men plant seeds of limitation. They speak of what they cannot do. They fear what might happen. They rehearse phrases of scarcity and then stand in disbelief when poverty grows in their lives. You cannot whisper fear into your subconscious and expect it to return faith. You cannot speak failure and receive success. What you plant is what you grow. The law is exact. This is where the daily practice of auto-suggestion becomes your instrument of transformation. Speak your definite aim aloud. Read it twice each day. Feel it in your chest. Impress it upon the subconscious with emotion. For emotion is the water, repetition is the sun, and belief is the soil. Together they awaken the inner builder. Together they produce the harvest. But desire, faith, and the subconscious alone are not enough. Without action, without organized, deliberate planning, the seed of riches will never rise from the earth. A man may believe deeply and still remain in poverty if he never moves that belief into motion. Money is a lover of precision. It flees from those who hesitate and is drawn to those who think clearly, speak directly, and move swiftly. Carnegie did not build his empire on faith alone. He organized. He surrounded himself with men who specialized where he did not. He formed a mastermind, a group of aligned minds working toward one definite aim, and he executed with speed. You must do the same. Write your plan today. Not a vague intention, but a definite method. Will it be through business, investment, service? Name the channel. Then take one step before you sleep tonight. The subconscious respects movement. The universe rewards momentum. Life opens its gates for the man who moves with purpose. If your first plan fails, create another. If that fails, build a third, but never surrender the aim. Riches are not offended by failure. They are offended by abandonment. Every great fortune carries failure in its history, but not one was built by a man who allowed failure to write the final word. Now let us speak plainly of fear, the invisible weapon that has destroyed more fortunes than any recession or misfortune ever could. Fear requires no chains, no prisons, no weapons. It is the silent assassin of greatness. Among all its forms, three stand as the greatest destroyers of wealth: the fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of failure. Each one poisons the mind, silences the voice, and keeps a man reaching for scraps when an empire awaits him. The fear of poverty is the most dangerous of all. It whispers, "What if I fail?" It says, "Better stay safe." And so men delay, postpone, and retreat, accepting limitation as though it were destiny. The fear of criticism kills dreams before they are ever spoken. It asks, "What will they think?" And so the idea dies unborn, the ambition remains buried, the vision never sees daylight. But these fears are not native to you. They were planted by circumstance, by opinion, by the repeated exposure to small thinking. And what was planted can be removed, replaced and destroyed by faith, definiteness, and daily action. Fear dies in the presence of purpose. It cannot survive where repetition and belief reside. Every time you speak your goal aloud, you silence the whisper of failure. Every time you move forward in spite of hesitation, you prove to fear that it carries no authority in your life. You must starve fear by feeding belief. Speak your affirmations not only when you feel strong, but especially when you feel weak. That is the moment fear is most vulnerable. And finally, understand this above all. Wealth is not an event, it is a habit, built one thought at a time, one word at a time, one disciplined day at a time. The man who becomes rich has simply trained himself to think, speak, and act in abundance so consistently that the universe aligns to obey. There is a law at work beneath all things, cosmic habit force, the silent power that fixes your repeated thoughts into permanent patterns, and those patterns into automatic results. Edison did not birth the electric light through a single flash of genius. He worked daily, through failure and resistance, until the habit of persistence carried him forward, even when his desire weakened. His power was not brilliance, it was consistency. And consistency is available to every man who chooses it. Begin your daily ritual tonight. Speak your definite chief aim aloud with emotion. Read your written statement morning and night. Guard your speech from words of poverty and complaint. Surround yourself with minds of purpose. Take one bold action every single day in the direction of your goal. Stack these days one upon another, and wealth will not remain distant. It will become your nature. Say this aloud now. I was born to be rich. I command riches from life. My thoughts attract gold. My words carry power. My daily habits build my fortune. There is more money flowing to me now than I could ever spend in a lifetime. And I will use it to bless others, to build, and to fulfill the purpose I was placed on this earth to achieve. This is not a dream you are pursuing. This is a life you are constructing. Thought by thought, word by word, action by action. The wealthy men I studied did not wait for the world to hand them opportunity. They became so definite in thought, so fearless in speech, so disciplined in daily habit, that opportunity had no choice but to find them. Now it is your turn. Write the amount, name the plan, set the date, speak it tonight. Move tomorrow. And do not stop, not for doubt, not for delay, not for the small voices of those who never dared. You were not born to run from lack. You were born to lead and overflow. Now rise, and do not stop until you hold in your hands everything you were always meant to command.